All right, so in 2014 INTERGEO, we released the I-80 receiver from CHC. This receiver is following the market trend of smaller, more compact receivers based on the shrinking size of the GNSS tracking boards that are available. CHC did introduce some unique features in this receiver with a display that can run the receiver, switching it from static to RTK, recording data, changing base station channels without the use of a data collector. It also implemented a web interface within the receiver so that you can configure the receiver using an iPhone or an Android phone to reconfigure it, in addition to the industry standard Windows Mobile operating system. Implemented items such as hot swappable batteries for continuous operation during the day, and the magnesium alloy case in the receiver. So some refinements that we've done to that is just some firmware upgrades, some tweaking of the receiver. We've also introduced a new FCC compatible radio for use within Canada and the United States for those regulations. We've also refined our LT500 series handheld, adding a couple different models to that series, allowing anywhere from 30 centimeter 1 foot accuracy all the way up to full dual frequency multi-constellation RTK. It's been a very popular unit, not only as a GIS mapping unit, but also a controller used within the survey industry. Also, our flagship LT30 data collector, we have units now with faster processors, a little bit better spec camera, units that are available in the 1 meter range through in-trip service also with that unit. So just some continual refinements to some of our existing products that we've introduced here recently. All right, so 2015 at our booth, you're going to see about 6 or 7 new products. Some of these products are just filling out the portfolio of CHC to be more competitive. We introduced in the Asian market here last year our NX100, which is a complete agricultural guidance system for the growing automation of the agricultural industry in Asia. You may see that product also trickle out to other industries and other markets as well. We also are showing our X360. It's a miniaturized reference station receiver that can be used for a number of different applications. It is a separate receiver and antenna. However, we are showing it today at the show with the small helicoil antenna that's attached to that unit. So about 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters by 2 centimeters in size. We also introduced a new handheld controller, similar to our LT30 line, but again, building on some more modern specs, also with a keyboard on it for ease of use on that receiver. Some of the bigger announcements, though, from CHC come with what I'd consider to be our industry-leading innovation that we've done here. So we've introduced some new X20i series receivers. These receivers actually have a special Bluetooth chip that we purchased from Apple. We've gone through the MFI certification process with Apple as well. The advantage to these receivers is taking the iPhone and the iPad, which have been hugely popular throughout the world, but they have not been able to work with GPS receivers from our market. So it's kind of kept the phones in the consumer market and the professional GPS receivers separated. What we've done with that special chip that we purchased and go through the very lengthy and critical certification process with Apple, which took nearly 6 months, is that we have a product that when you bond to it with your iPhone or your iPad, the unit is allowed to take over the location services of the iPad and the iPhone, making your iPhone or iPad RTK accurate. So all 1.5 million apps on the iStore are now compatible with centimeter grade positioning. Whether that be a simple app like Apple Maps or Google Maps, down to more specialized apps for maybe doing a tree inventory or collecting water valves. Simple consumer grade apps now can benefit from professional grade GPS. We have this product in a couple different models, ranging from the 30 centimeter 1 foot model using free SBOS to get down to that accuracy, up to a very high end 4 constellation triple frequency RTK board for top of the line RTK performance with the iOS devices. This device does work with Android and Windows Mobile, just so we have the historical compatibility of the unit as well. It is a small market, what we refer to as this bring your own device market. It's a very price conscious market as well, and I think that our product hits that requirement square on, and I see this as also being a growing trend especially when the Android phones and the iPhones get more outdoor usability and become more popular in the industry. I do get the question quite a bit, is it really that easy? And it is. You bond to the Bluetooth with one simple step on the iPhone. Immediately after that step, every single app on the iPhone and the iPad are 1 centimeter accurate. So the X20i series, we have that at our booth. It's available, and we have a number of customers already using that product that were in our trial process. The next industry-leading innovation is actually tapping upon some very old technology in our industry. So as everyone's familiar with here, there are UAVs everywhere in this market, with each manufacturer and integrator creating some unique spin and approach on the market. What we've done is we've created a set of receivers specifically geared to the UAV market to offer ground control. So all these UAV manufacturers now actually have a dedicated team of engineers and personnel at CHC that help customize our UAV ground control kits to their exact application. So we have receivers that are L1 static only receivers, all the way up to full RTK based receivers for some of the UAVs that produce real-time results. The advantage of the products that we're producing is we typically see a 5-to-1 cost reduction in the deployment costs of these receivers for UAV manufacturers. They had historically gone and purchased survey-grade receivers at very expensive prices, but only utilized some very small features in those receivers. So we actually are able to come in with receivers maybe 1/5 the cost of what they've been doing and keep the exact capability and accuracy that they need. A lot of these receivers in this market, we've customized even kits. The example shown here is a kit made for a fairly popular UAV manufacturer in the market, where we have one high-end static receiver doing multi-frequency, which brings in project control from hundreds of kilometers away. So that receiver is stationed. It connects with like the national Coors networks, the different government-owned Coors, to bring down centimeter level positioning. And then also then are a number of small L1 only receivers, also in the X20i form factor, where the user will just toss these out on the ground and use them as the photo identifiable targets in the project. So they can leave these receivers running while they then unpack their UAV, fly their UAV mission, post-process then the UAV data against these receivers, and these receivers also against themselves in one big adjustment of the network. But again, as I said, we have UAV kits, different kits for different manufacturers based on the needs of what they're doing with their processing. Even though it's a very large market, the UAV market at this point, the customized, or what I'll call the individualized products are typically a very small market. So there's only a handful of UAV manufacturers that are actually using this multi-receiver kit. There's maybe a larger group that are using some of our smaller L1 only receivers to post-process against, and maybe even a larger market using the RTK systems as well. Okay. We are right now the only major manufacturer producing static-only receivers. It seems the industry just moved on from static. We've had a lot of success in this particular part of the market, although it be a small market. One of the biggest news items that come out of the show, I believe, this year was the introduction of a device that we've always talked about for years. We always said at some point we'll have RTK in our phone. And CHC were kind of proud to show the first RTK-enabled real phone. And I use the word real phone there. On one of the first slides, I showed our handheld RTK unit. There is a phone in there. You can talk on it, but I'm pretty sure everyone would be embarrassed by calling that their phone. They would not carry it on a day-to-day basis. This phone, same size as like a Samsung Galaxy Note or an iPhone 6 Plus. The only difference being a small bulge for a higher quality antenna. The RTK engine being moved off the RTK board to shrink it, and that RTK engine is then integrated as an Android app that runs in the background doing the RTK processing. So this unit would log into your local in-trip service, retrieve RTK corrections, the same as any rover would as well. This unit by itself, without any external antenna, we're talking 30 centimeter accuracy running in real time. So any Android app that you have is enabled with 30 centimeter accuracy. So very revolutionary product here. I think you're going to continue to see the form factor shrink or the accuracy increase within the same form factor that we're showing here at this show. So huge product. We have this available in the booth. Welcome to come by and take a look at it. Running the standard Android operating system. The GPS module that's built in, though, is the higher end GPS module, replacing maybe the 5 meter units that everyone is used to seeing in this device. All right. I'd like to say thank you for everyone, and if there are any questions, we can follow up with that. And thank you.